can I say something that might feel a little confronting, but I promise you it's going to be really freeing. You don't have a motivations problem, you have a systems problem. And if you've been trying to heal your digestion after gallbladder removal, or trying to avoid gallbladder removal, or even just have all of these issues, and you keep starting over, piecing things together from Instagram and Google and random practitioners, this is the video for you. All right, I want to start with a story. So stick with me. It's going to make everything click together. There was once a family who lived on the outskirts of a small village. They owned one cow, and they lived off of that cow's milk. On good milking days, they ate very well, and on bad milking days, they barely got by. One autumn, a traveler passed through the village, and the family fed him from their milk. And he was so incredibly grateful that he wanted to do something to help them. So he decided to go to the wise men of the village. And as he asked, he said, I want to do something to really help this family. And the wise men said, kill the cow. The traveler was horrified. Kill it? They need that cow. But the wise men repeated it. So the traveler obeyed. 1 year later, he came back through the village, and there was a thriving market, a hotel, new shops, and behind the bar stood the eldest son of that same family, and he was standing tall and he was smiling. What had happened? Asked the traveler. He said, we lost that cow, the man said, and we had no choice but to try something new. So here's what we're going to talk about today. There are 3 reasons not having a system is making your healing so much harder than it needs to be. And at the end, I'm going to share my simple morning system that can improve and upstart your digestive system and your day starting tomorrow. So grab your herbal tea and let's dig in. Before I give you the 3 reasons, I need to say this. If you've been struggling with your gallbladder after surgery, you are not lazy, you are not unmotivated, and your body has literally changed. Your gallbladder used to be that organ that stored and concentrated bile and released it right when you needed it in concentrated doses, and now there is just a drip, drip, drip continuously. So this changes everything. It changes how you digest fat. It changes your blood sugar and how that regulates. It changes how your hormones recycle and how your gut bacteria behave. No one ever told us this. This is not something you can willpower your way through. It is physiology. You need intentional rhythms. You need a system. So reason number 1 why a system is important is systems make sense of chaos. So most women are completely overwhelmed. They're not lazy. They just don't know what to do. It's analysis paralysis. And they've heard a dozen things, conflicting advice, and they have no framework to hold it all together. And that is incredibly frustrating. They've also been told crazy things like eat more fiber, which is not crazy, but take ox bile, heal your hormones, liver balance, all this stuff. And we just don't know where to start, how much, when, what is the rhythm? Go gluten-free, try fasting. These are all good things, but they're floating around in these disconnected pieces, and a system weaves them together. History tells us how people healed before modern medicine. Science tells us how bile and hormones and digestion work, and scripture ties it all together. So in Corinthians 14:40 says, let all things be done decently and in God's order. God is a God of order. So healing follows that same principle. Without a system, we have to keep reinventing the wheel every Monday morning, every first of the month, every January 1st. And this is exactly why I created the Healing by Design, the Creator's Blueprint for Healthy Living. Now, this is super important reason number 2. Someone already made the mistakes for you. I've already made the mistakes. And that way you don't have to keep making them. So a proven system shortcuts years of frustration. So you get to stand on the lessons of what people have already learned. And what this does is this makes sure that you heal faster, you heal stronger without having to worry about, the low fat diets that crash your hormones, or the aggressive fasting that burns out your adrenals, or ignoring bile support and staying bloated. Also, increasing digestive production, right, with herbs. So focusing only on food while ignoring the nervous system is also a big thing that happens when we don't have a system. So transformation does not come from willpower. It comes from repeatable structure. And so when we have repeatable structure, this is a mercy. You don't have to learn everything the hard way. God gave us teachers. He gave us history and wisdom traditions for a reason. We're not meant to figure out healing alone. I mean, we're standing there we can't see the forest for the trees when you can't think clearly, and you're upset and you have these emotions going on. You can't do it without a system. Reason number 3, systems are incredibly important, is that they remove that decision fatigue. You don't have to keep rethinking this. This might be the most important reason of all, because it's the one I wish someone had told me earlier. When everything depends on how you feel that day, you're going to fail. Because when we're sick and when we're tired, we never feel like doing the thing. And it's not because you're weak, but because healing is hard and emotions are loud and they scream. But a system says, this is how I start my morning. This is how I support my digestive system. This is how I calm my nervous system. And this is how God connected all these together. There's no debate. There's no spiraling. There's no starting over all the time. So in scripture, we call this discipline and diligence. And Proverbs reminds us that the diligent prosper, not the motivated, because motivation is based off of feelings, and those feelings will eventually change. So discipline is based on decisions and habits, and systems protect you on those days when your emotions are screaming louder than you can think. So, and they're screaming louder than your goals. So I want to say this. Can I say something tender for just a moment? Some of you lost your gallbladder or have been struggling for so long that you genuinely feel betrayed by your body. Maybe you're angry. Maybe you're bitter. Maybe you're grieving the version of yourself who could eat whatever she wanted without a second thought. Or maybe you had the energy that you could go on for days. But what if the surgery was your cow? What if God allowed something familiar, something you depended on, to fall away so you could finally build something stronger? Healing is not punishment. It's an invitation to slow down, to steward your body, to align with God, to walk in wisdom instead of survival mode. The family in the story didn't thrive until the cow was gone. And friend, many of us won't fully heal until we stop clinging to quick fixes and start building a real healing lifestyle. Okay, I'm so glad you're still here. I want to share with you my morning system. This is something I do every morning, and I tell my clients to do and my students, because even though it's simple, don't confuse it with not functional, that it's not going to work or it's too easy. I'm going to give you some practical things you can start tomorrow. This is my simple morning system. There's 3 steps that take between 5 and 10 minutes, possibly 15 if you want to stretch it out, every morning. So the first one is hydration. Start off with a big quart of really warm water. Put a little bit of salt in there. I suggest people start with about a 1/4 teaspoon of Celtic or real salt, something with the minerals in it. And first thing, before your coffee, before you grab your phone, before you do anything else, drink this big jar of warm water. So this wakes up that bile flow and gets your gut motility moving. It's simple and it works. All right, step number 2 is gentle movement. If you can do between 5 to 10 minutes at least of this gentle movement, that could be going on a walk in the sun, getting that morning sun. It could be rebounding. It could be stretching. This signals for your liver and your intestines that it's time to wake up and start working. And they may need just a little bit of a nudge. And so that's what we're doing every morning. Part 3 of my morning system is grounding, prayer, and breath. Put your hand over your belly. Inhale nice and slow. Exhale it fully when you do it, and inhale fully. And then begin to say your prayers. We're going to calm the nervous system. So we're doing hydration, we're doing movement, and we're doing a calming nervous system practice. And something as simple as, Lord, bring order to my body today. Or please give me the strength and the understanding to know what my body needs today. So that is it. 3 steps done before most people check their Instagram. You don't have a motivation problem. You have a systems problem. And systems make sense of fragmented health information that's just floating there in the ether. And every time someone gives you one more idea, you grab onto it and you try it, but it's just like throwing spaghetti at the wall just to see what sticks. A proven system lets you skip years of that costly trial and error, going out and getting the vitamins and the supplements that people are telling, and a system protects you from that emotional decision fatigue. We're going to start small: warm water, gentle movement, prayer, and breath every morning. God is not asking you to be perfect. In fact, perfect is the enemy of progress. He's asking you to be faithful with small daily steps diligently designed to heal your body. You don't have to figure this out alone. If this spoke to you today, share it with another woman walking this road, because somebody in her life needs to hear this. Maybe you needed to hear this. But I have something for you. If you are ready to stop guessing and start healing with real structure, history, and science and sacred truth, all working together synergistically, I have a free training for you called 3 Easy Tips to Heal Digestion in 7 Days. So the link is right below this video. Grab your spot. It's completely free, and it will change how you think about healing after gallbladder removal, or how to heal before it gets to that point. I'll see you there. And until next time, your body was designed to heal.